Don't Let Go actually began life a few years before The Telling. It was a guitar-based instrumental that I'd written with my good friend John Waldron, and it was entitled Pulse back then.
Don't Let Go, which was originally called Pulse, was sent to me in the early days by Shane, in the usual way. Pretty much a finished track, something really strong for me to go on, to put my own melody over and create the story and lyrics that went along with it. Sometimes when I'm writing, my mood or something I might be going through will affect what I write. And sometimes it's completely the other way around, so I listen to a piece of music and that will influence how I feel, and it might take me back to a place or time. Or sometimes it might just be a story, and that story could maybe be partly mine, maybe partly someone else's.
So one of the things I really like about Don't Let Go is the way that we use time signatures. Most of the song is in 6/8, so it's kind of like a double time waltz, but it's not as slow as a waltz. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a nice kind of lilt, a nice swing. But the instrumental section actually goes into straight 4/4 time, and it's a pretty clever way of creating an illusion that we're speeding up, but in fact we're just changing time signature, and it gives that section a little bit more energy.
This one with its lulls and time changes put me in mind of a couple very much in turmoil. The song for the most part is a two-way conversation. It's an argument, a blame game. So the beginning is unsure. You can tell it's not happy. The two first lyrics are twisting and turning, and this implies worrying. Also indecisiveness, the changing of minds. It goes on to tell the story of a girl who is feeling unloved in a relationship. Feels like she's going unnoticed, and she eventually is unfaithful. Now, she feels completely justified in this because she's been heartbroken over time, but her partner doesn't see that. He's completely in the dark and can't fathom how this has happened or why this has happened. So there's this whole back and forward dialogue and this argument that plays out throughout the song.
I wrote it in mind for two guitars, bass and drums, and I didn't have a band, so I was just doing something that was loosely in a traditional song format, but I always felt that it would be better if it was performed by a band, so drums, bass, one guitar, keys and synth, and obviously a lead vocal. It was only at that time that we came to realise that my original version didn't actually have a chorus, and we spent a good bit of time trying to reframe the bridges, and thankfully Colm stepped in and did something that only Colm can do, when making unusual chord connections between major chords in particular. This pleased me very much because it meant that I could do some of the interesting things that I like to do as a musician.
There's a small part towards the end of the second verse where she softens and the melody goes up, and she sees that he sees her now, finally. But she knows that this is what it took for that to happen, and so it's too late. And the lyric is, I wish I felt the same, but tables will turn around again. The outro for the song, the lyrics, was actually taken from a poem I had written from a big book of scribbles I have from over the years, and it was a poem that I had written late one night after an argument I had with someone I was with. It was late, we were actually away, and I remember he went to bed and I went outside, and it was summertime but it was cold, and the words are no stars in the winter, no warmth in the sun, and it basically means there's something good supposed to be there. It's something missing, something good is supposed to be here, but it's just not. So I thought this was quite fitting. So I took the first verse of the poem, and that finishes the song.